MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. It is Friday.
It is Friday.
And the big reminder is do not forget that Monday is an official holiday, which means banks and things of that nature will most likely be closed, courthouses. It's Columbus Day.
Yes, and I'm missing. Okay, I thought I was missing an earring.
I couldn't see there.
It's going to be
all
a
covered
dilemma.
up. So, what do you do when you lose
I know.
it?
You just kind of put your hair down like this.
Oh, okay. What do they call it? These cities that think that it's a racial slur to have Columbus Day in your town. How do you say that word? Indigenous. Yeah, that word.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's what they've renamed it in a lot of these larger cities. And Columbus did what he did. He died a dirt poor broke man with nothing. And it was later discovered what he'd done. He become a hero for discovering the new world. I don't see the dilemma with him.
I don't see the dilemma in a lot of things, but,
That is true.
Yeah, no way.
Welcome to America, where what's right is wrong now.
Yeah.
So we'll get into a lot of those.
We had a fun morning, though, on the way to school.
What'd you do?
And I, my son's favorite new favorite song, is I Love a Rainy Night by Eddie Ray.
Such a
He was
beautiful
singing
night.
it. He loved it. And I said, now this is the country that I grew up on. This is the country music I grew up on.
Like me some Eddie Rabbit, driving my life away.
Yes.
I got $2 in a jukebox, and 10 more just in case that don't do the trick.
Yep.
Great stuff from Eddie Rabbit.
Yes.
Of course, died a very young guy.
He was. I remember that. And yes, he was very young.
So, and every now and then you got to pick yourself a favorite song to make your day a little bit better.
I know.
Let's see. As we begin this day coming up, we'll have some special guests joining us as we've got a play that kicked off last night at the Meridian Little Theater. We'll find all about that, what's going on with it. It's a few nights if you'd like to go see it on Highway 39. We'll find out more about that behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yes. Guys and dolls. Isn't that
Let's
right?
see. A Kipper County woman has been arrested. She got in some type of domestic dispute, set her house on fire with children in it.
Not a good thing.
No, she was 25 years old, and they have made an arrest in that. That's a very serious thing.
Yes. I mean, that's just like...
Over in Livingston, they've made an arrest of someone on the city council who done some forgery. Had nothing to do with his role on the city council, but an arrest has been made for the folks who watch from Livingston, Alabama, and what's going on around there. And this is a big deal, and we bring this up because I know Meridian High School or Meridian Public Schools put out a letter yesterday all about this TikTok thing and social media about slapping the teacher.
Yeah. I mean, that's just crazy. But I did hear yesterday that TikTok claims that is not a legitimate thing, that they're not backing that. They're not, going along with that. And if anything is put on their site, it will be removed immediately. But, it's already out there.
Yeah, it doesn't change the fact of the teacher that was in Louisiana who was slapped and then hit and beat. That she's in the hospital now. That was in Covington High School in Louisiana, and she's in pretty bad shape. And I was trying to find the story so you could see the pictures of it, but she is beat down.
Yeah,
I
think I know that they can say that they didn't condone this, but still, I just feel like this stuff is crazy. And I just feel like. People don't understand the severity of all these little games and stuff that people play. Now, some stuff like Ice Bucket Challenge, stuff like that goes around on the internet. But
harming someone else for your gratification is not. And you remember the knockout game that they were doing on there also, to where you'd be walking down the street and they just hit somebody upside the head?
Yeah.
Yeah. TikTok it may have its advantages, but it also has some bad things.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. I think last month was Tear Something Up at School month, and they had just tons of pictures of them destroying bathrooms.
They prey on children. I'm sorry.
Is it children or people that are not so smart?
Well, both, I guess. I don't
Because,
know.
I mean, anybody,
Yeah.
the girl that's arrested for attacking the teacher was 18, so she's going to be charged as an adult. It is a felony. But think about this now, what in your right mind would make you think it's okay to go beat somebody unexpectedly? What about
Yeah.
that makes sense?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it amazes me what people will do for that little bit of fame,
Yeah.
a little bit of, let's put this so the world can see it. I don't know.
And things like that just bother me, and which leads to this next story as you're waking up. I'm sure most people have saw this on the news some way, somehow. But the guy that is 18 from Arlington, Texas, which is Dallas, 18 years old, claims that he was being harassed at school and bullied and shoots 4 people. Now, they haul him down to the jailhouse. That's attempted murder, no matter how you slice that. Yeah. He harmed other people. They're in the hospital. A 25-year-old teacher got a bullet in the back.
Yeah.
What judge would grant bond? Really?
Yeah.
He is walking free, smiling, grinning, while his victims lie in a hospital.
Right. Out on bail.
I get really confused over the direction of America with
this
this
is
stuff.
exactly what we've been talking about all along. There's no there's no, what do you call it?
Repercussions for your
right. And
actions.
so, we're raising people like that. We're raising people to think that's okay. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get a slap on the hand, and then everything's gonna be fine. And this is the people 20 years from now that's gonna be killing people.
Yeah. Now,
and it's gonna be okay.
And as you go to this picture, this was a picture that was taken of him a couple weeks, and it was put on Facebook and several other places. As you'll see here, there's a gun in the door. So he's been toting long before he attacked someone. And then here's the next thing is the parents almost want to blame everybody else. One of the parents said, my children were not bullying. But of course, they're going to say that. We don't know what really went on behind the scenes of arguments in school, but shooting someone is not the way. And the parents should, in my opinion, be concerned about a school teacher who's got a bullet and 3 other students.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, I definitely think, they need to be concerned about that.
It just, again, it's like whatever is just plain as day in your face this day and time is totally opposite the way America handles it.
Like what's right's wrong, what's wrong's right.
Yeah.
Nowadays, stuff that you think people should be jailed for, they're not.
Right.
Just like the Marine,
Oh boy.
That was put in jail, put in the brig for voicing his opinion on factual information, I might say.
Right. The lieutenant colonel.
Right. And because he voiced his opinion, they threw him in the brig and stayed there for a while. Then he gets out, and now
he's being formally charged with 6 violations and will face a special court-martial, which is coming up very quick, a day after being from the brig. So it's going to happen today. He's going to face that court-martial.
Right.
Just because he didn't agree with what they said.
But yet we can have a General Milley, we can have him say all this kind of stuff about our president at the time. He was a sitting president at the time. That he, said the things, and say that he can call China and say, hey, we'll let you know before we attack. We'll let you know before anything happens. I'll give you a call. So, just
very disturbing.
Really,
very disturbing.
And I'm sure it didn't go just quite that way, but
he did pick up the phone and call somebody.
Right.
That makes it, let me see. That's called treason.
Yeah.
It used to be in America anyway.
But yet he sits at home, probably drinks his coffee, and everything's fine, watching the news, gets away with it.
But, seriously, if you go back and look at this, anybody that was a true Trump supporter or what I would call an American patriot during these times, they are trying to set examples by destroying their life, taking all their money, putting false charges out about them to destroy them.
Right.
We see this every day.
But the American people need to stand up and be strong and have a backbone and still speak your mind, still speak for what you think is right, and stand up for what you think is right. I think it's just all about putting fear into people about everything.
And the next thing that you really
have total control
to grasp is just because something is said doesn't make it true. If somebody is accused of something, remember, it's an accusation until it's proven. How many times, wait a minute, we had 2 impeachment trials. Guess what? None of that was true. a whole thing paid for by Hillary was not true.
Let me say this.
Uh-oh.
Stuff that seems like things happen, you really don't ever know. Yesterday, I was informed about somebody who had gone to the ER and somebody saw them do this. They got out of the bed in the ER room, walked around the bed, laid on the floor with their cell phone, videoing themselves or something, and started hollering, "Help, help, I fell out of the bed." You know, okay, right. And somebody saw this happen. Saw it happen. So things are not always as they seem.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot of people that like drama.
Right.
So,
right.
Shame.
Yeah.
You've been busted there.
Mm-hmm. Busted.
I in my little world, I would never do that.
I mean, why, you know, well, we know why somebody would do that.
Right. And
but, yeah.
The next thing that happened to me, I have fallen out of a chair and couldn't get up before, and it ain't fun.
Yeah.
Just in case you've ever been there. Let's talk about our friends over at Snowden and Company. They're the real estate company that's there to help you today, tomorrow, and the day after that. They've got a lot of great things going right now. And, of course, Leslie, Donna, and also Amanda, well, they won the Reader's Choice Award here in Meridian from the Meridian Star.
That's a great thing.
Congratulations, y'all. And when it comes to that home, finding your dream home is important. They want to help you do that. You can call them at 453-3937. You can move into, well, selling your home. You need the absolute most that you can get for it. Maybe it's your retirement. Maybe it's, well, you're buying another home. So they'll help you do both of those. They're in high demand now. If you're getting ready to sell, talk to them. If you're selling your home, they'll make sure that they have an extraordinary marketing strategy, hands-on coordination, and really getting the skilled negotiations to handle this transaction. And you'll be glad when it comes to the selling part and at the closing that they know all about this stuff.
Yes.
Lauderdale, Kemper, Newton, Neshoba, Clark, and they've also added Brandon, Flowood, Madison, and Forest, a few of the places, a few of the homes that we're seeing here in the background that you can take advantage of. Now, they'll be there to 5 o'clock today, by appointment only tomorrow. You can see those homes. They'll be closed on Sunday. And, well, they'll help you there. Snowden and Company, see Amanda and the gang. They'll help you there. Designated seller, certified real estate negotiating expert, 601-453-3937, located on Poplar Springs Drive here in Meridian.
I was leaving home with a car full of my friends when suddenly we were thrust off of the road. A direct hit from behind. We were involved in a car accident.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
I'm JC from Starkville, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $200,000.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Today is Friday.
It is. I'm so glad.
I'm
so glad it's Friday, really. It's been a long week.
It has been. Today, it's a little warmer. The weekend's going to be warmer than we've had in the past. We're going to get into some 86, 87, but be ready within 2 weeks. It's going to be back to that 74, 75 thing. So great news. No rain over the weekend, so you can get some things done.
Good.
As we mentioned, we've got some special guests. We've got a big play that's coming up on Highway 39 down at the Meridian Little Theater. And our special guests, let's make a big warm welcome, Piper Gonzalez and Rachel Thaggart. How are y'all this morning?
Great. Good morning.
So good to see y'all again. Now, the play is kicking off. What do we expect? Tell us all about it. What's the name of it, number one?
So this is Guys and Dolls, and it's an iconic musical comedy set in New York. It's got a bunch of gangsters and gamblers and hotbox girls, and at the center of this show are these two great love stories, and it's all set to some wonderfully composed and written music.
Now, who's playing the love interest in this? Who's playing the two parts?
So we have two pairs of people, actually. Yeah. So we have Dalton Newell and Maggie Grace Triplett, who are playing two of them. And then the other two are Brandon Davidson and Amy McMahon.
Yeah, I may have caught you off guard on that. I didn't mean to do that. But that was a good answer.
Who are these cast members again? Like, I haven't known them my entire life.
I would go, wait a minute. Let me get back with you. Let me find it. But y'all, how long have they been working on putting this play together?
So this show, they had auditions during when we did Back to the 80s. So it's been about 5 weeks. They put it together pretty fast, but you would have never guessed. Like, the work ethic shows so much. You would have thought that they would have had forever to put this show on.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell us times, location. How do we go about getting tickets to all this?
So you can buy your tickets at meridianlittletheater.com or whenever you arrive at the door when you walk in. And so tonight we have a show at 7 o'clock, and tomorrow night we have a show at 7 o'clock, and Sunday we have a show at 2 o'clock. And doors will open about 30 minutes before showtime.
So you got plenty of time to come on out. And again, even if you're tied up and you got some time after church, you can still make it for that. Now, how long have y'all been involved with play so far with the Meridian Little Theater?
So I started Meridian Little Theater shows, I think, 2 years ago. So I'm relatively new at it, but she has been doing it for a little while.
My first show that I did ever, along with like the little center stage shows that they had, I did my first one when I was 6.
Wow.
So it's been over 11 years now that I've been involved in.
So I asked this question for a reason, and I brought that up. What is the strangest thing that's happened when you've been live on stage and you knew it wasn't right, but you had to keep going?
Oh my goodness.
Or
There's a lot of little things that happen.
Every show something happens.
There's lots of instances where, actors will forget their lines and you have to just kind of make it up as you go.
I have a good example, actually.
Okay.
Something that happened last night during the show. We're backstage a lot of the show, and we bring on set pieces, and there's a scene where we were ready, we knew what we were doing, and we were going out on stage, and I get on the stage, and the lights are still on, and the scene is still going, and it had not ended like I thought, and I just kind of froze, stared, and just walked backwards. Just walked back.
The whole audience could see it.
Luckily, everyone in the audience saw me, but luckily none of the actors on stage saw me, so it didn't disrupt the scene. And we're all dressed. Everyone backstage is dressed as if they're in the show. We're all dressed in costumes, so hopefully it didn't look too out of place. But I knew that I was not supposed to be in that scene.
So it definitely made you feel that front row kind of feeling, didn't it?
Yeah, I definitely felt like a deer in headlights a little bit, but luckily I've been on a stage before, so I kind of just walked it off, got back to work.
I was in a play one time out there, and I forgot a couple of my lines one time, and that is the scariest feeling because I'd never done one up until that. And, it was just, and then I was in there with Sydney Covington. Of course, she picked it up and just went right on
Ran
like
with
nothing
it.
ever happened.
So
But, it's scary.
It's Piper and I have done a lot of shows together. We're great friends, and we've been doing shows for about 6 years about that together. So when you have someone on stage with you that has been doing it for that long and really is a hard worker, they can just pick it up like nothing ever happened and just keep
She's
going.
a lifesaver.
She's
so funny.
She is hysterical. I have never been on stage with her in a show, but that's like my life goal.
She's very fun to work with.
She is. She's great.
And this is what is coming up this weekend for everybody that's not aware of it. It's at Meridian Little Theater, and it is a comedy. And you'll get tickled. Come on out for this. And we've got some love interest happening on it. It began last night, and we'll run through Sunday at what time?
2 o'clock.
Right. Now, again, tell us how to get those tickets and where to go to do this.
So you can go to meridianlittletheater.com and buy your tickets there, or whenever you walk in the door, you can buy them.
Now, if you've never been to the Meridian Little Theater and you're trying to figure out, okay, where is the Meridian Little Theater located? How would you tell somebody how to get there?
If you know where that little crossroad where PJ's is and Winn-Dixie and Hardee's.
That'd be Highway 39.
Yes, Highway 39. That.
14th Street.
Yes, that's
Good thing someone here knows road maps, because Lord knows it's not.
I just know where PJ's is, but
I do know where North Hill Street is.
You can't miss it though if you go down 30.
No,
you just go and then you'll see
coming right off of North Hill Street, you'll see it.
Yeah, if you're coming in Meridian from DeKalb area NAS, it'll be on your left-hand side of the road after you go through that intersection. If you reach the Coca-Cola plant, turn around and go back up, and it'll be on the right-hand side of the road.
Yes. There's always a marquee sign out there telling what show's going to be on or when they have auditions. But I've been thinking about doing, putting Alden in something if he ever wanted, because he acts all the time. I mean, he's developed this British accent. He come in the kitchen the other day. He said, "Mommy,
Oh, Lord.
where did that come from?" And so, but he acts all the time. So I'm thinking, it might be a good thing to put in.
So, and let me ask this, since you bring that up, if somebody's interested in taking part of the next play that is coming up, what do they do? Who do they get in touch with?
Well, so the next show that will be coming up, we have a Christmas show that's coming up, Miracle on 34th Street. And then after that, we have the kid show, the center stage show, which is going to be Mary Poppins, actually. So plenty of British accents to be had in that show. And if you want to audition for a show, usually outside, well, all the time outside of the theater, the Meridian Little Theater sign, they'll have audition dates whenever something's coming up. They'll post it on Facebook. You can find information at meridianlittletheater.com. Or just, ask one of us. Find us on the street. We're always in town. So, stop us, ask us. We'll let you know.
Well, we can't thank y'all enough for coming in and spending a few moments with us and talking to us about the play. And we wish you luck. Again, tonight it kicks off at what time?
7 o'clock.
7 p.m. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this.
Thank you.
All right. Again, the Meridian Little Theater, we hope y'all can make it down and enjoy the show with the girls. They'll have a great time.
Fun. I love comedies. So.
A lot of people from the Meridian area love this, and they're taking part of it and supporting the community. So check that out. That's happening there. As we start talking about things that are else going on over the weekend, they had a big drug bust in Neshoba County. Eric and the gang took down some bad guys, even had some officers come in on their day off to help out with the drug bust. So congratulations there in Neshoba County.
Yes.
Some bad folks are off of the streets, thanks to them. So good on that. We have to say that. Some more things that are coming up that I wanted to bring up in the community this weekend. A couple things. Let's start off with this right here. This is going to be the fish fry. This is going to be Saturday over in Cicalina.
Yes.
It'll be right on the left side of the road there.
That's right. It's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and they're going to be giving out it's the fish fry plate, and they're doing it for donations. But they're also going to have a raffle, $600 gift, a gift card from the
right.
So anyway,
check that out. $2 each for those. You can buy them on there. Buy as many as you like. Maybe it'll be you get set.
It's a great
pretty handy.
Thing.
Yeah. A few more things that's happening this weekend. Don't forget Bailey will also have their big spooky house kicking off again tonight.
Bailey Haunted House. Yes, go check it out.
We also want to bring up, and I didn't catch this when we first announced it, but I guess I need to make a correction on this. The way I worded it, Duffy Baptist Church is not in Duffy. It is in Little Rock on Duffy Road.
Okay,
I got all confused over that. I did not know that. So my apologies. It's going to be a revival kicking off the 9th, beginning at 10 a.m. They invite you out there. Again, it's Duffy Baptist Church in Little Rock on Chunky Duffy Road.
Okay.
So I think I got that straight, but a large time to be had by everybody. I hope you can make it out for that. And then also Sunday afternoon in downtown Meridian, they're going to have the 15th Avenue Baptist Church getting ready for their drive-through creation. No.
And they want you to come hear about the days of creation. It's going to be from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. No, excuse me. Yeah, 5 to 6:30 p.m.
Yeah, that big typo by me. Imagine me making a typo.
I cannot imagine.
It just kind of rump-row happens from time to time.
It's okay.
And I can't help it. Let's see here. Other things that are going on. Let's go back and say some good mornings. We hadn't had a chance to mention a few folks that are out watching today.
Yes. Kathy Thomas, good morning. She's in Bailey, Mississippi. Tammy Fleming, good morning. Denise Burnside and Pat and Jim Coker. They're watching from Hickory. I said looking. You looking from Hickory? I'm crazy this morning.
It's okay.
Teresa Miner, good morning to you. And Bill Reinhardt, he's watching from DeKalb, Mississippi. He's a daily watcher. Good morning. Steve and Wanda McKinnon says, they live in Neshoba County. They're watching from there.
And also, Bill mentioned that Dallas Frazier is sick, had a major stroke. He was a country songwriter. So keep Dallas in your thoughts there. A lot of other folks watching this morning. We can't say thank you enough for joining in here. From Chunky, Sandy, thank you. LaWanda Grantham's watching. Ron Harper, how in the world are you doing, brother?
Good morning, Ron. And Joy Robinson, good morning to you. Let's see, Shirley Gardner, good morning.
Yeah, that's a few of the folks watching today. Again, we'd love to hear from you as to what's going on in your world. Let's get back to a few of the news stories that are shaping across America as you wake up and you're trying to figure out exactly what's been going on. Let's see here. This happened in Atlanta. And I bring this up to be careful. If you're ever involved where your car stalls on you and quits and you've got to get out of your car, watch what's going on around you. A young lady on an overpass, and you know how they are, those big high-rise bridges,
Right.
breaks down. She gets on the phone, calls her record, and then she calls her roommate to tell her, okay, I'm delayed.
Right.
Somebody's racing. They lose control of their car, hit her car. Her car slams into her. She's walking, and it throws her off the overpass. You would think she would be dead.
Right.
But she survives. 30 feet fall.
That is scary.
It is.
It's amazing that she did survive that.
Keep that in mind. Now, here's something else that I wanted to bring up that I read this story this morning and I thought there is no way.
Right.
I don't know how the guy fell, but you think of falling 9 stories out of a building. And let me click on this because this is I want to show you the picture. This was immediately after he fell. People were standing there. He falls through the roof of a BMW. Look at this. Right there. He's alive. 9-story fall. This looks like one of those scenes from the movies where the bad guy falls out the window.
Still got his mask attached to his ear.
Yeah. Here he is.
Goodness.
He walked away from this.
I wonder if he's really okay, though. You know, I don't
you
see how
have-
some internal injuries can't happen with that if you do live through it.
But you definitely will have issues the next day. There's no
yeah,
doubt. Because you can be in a car wreck, not have an ache to the following day. But
Right. Yeah.
a miracle in itself, and we do hope that he took that as a sign from somewhere else other than here that, hey, get your stuff together.
Right.
You've got a bigger purpose than what you thought you had.
Got plans for you.
He was like Superman.
Yeah.
Now, I fell out of a tree
I wonder
once.
why he fell off the building.
That's what I don't know.
Did he jump?
Did he trip? Did he fall? I ain't getting near no edge.
Yeah.
I did not get a chance to find out all of that information. But interestingly enough, there's 2 people that fell and walked away from it. So there you go. That's a pretty one there. Anybody remember Woody Harrelson, the actor? Woody is doing a new film, and he was staying at the Watergate Hotel in Washington. He goes to walk out, and this guy starts arguing with Woody Harrelson. And the next thing you know, he jumps on Woody around his neck, puts him, and then that's when Woody comes to action and punches the guy in the throat, knocks him down. Cops were called, and most people on site say it was, don't know what they were arguing about, but the guy most likely said something ugly to him.
Right.
And then tried to attack him, and he protected himself. So that guy's been hauled away.
Let's hope that, justice prevails and, they don't try to pin it on Woody Harrelson just because he's an actor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless he was at fault,
But he kept his hands in his pocket until this guy jumped on him.
Right.
Rod Stewart.
I don't agree with somebody. If somebody lays their hands on you, then it's on.
I don't remember the circumstances, but Rod Stewart just now settled the lawsuit. He was at a New Year's Eve party with his son, and he punched, I think it was the parking attendant. He punched him, and it's hard to imagine Rod Stewart punching somebody.
Yeah, it would
but I
be
don't
hard.
remember what led up to it, but it was an out-of-court settlement that was finally agreed upon. But it got kind of nasty there.
Yeah.
So I want to remind you also of a yard sale coming up at Tombstone Baptist Church.
It's starting at 7 a.m. and it's for the winter retreat in December. It's October the 16th.
Yeah, that's not long off. I was trying to look here and see what else has gone on that we talked about the TikTok game. We still got a little fog in the area there. We mentioned the wreck. Maybe we didn't. There was a wreck on Highway 21 in Neshoba County, and a Conehatta man lost his life in that wreck. It was a head-on collision. A lady from Philadelphia was also involved in that. Prayers for both sides of the family on that.
It just seems like lately there's been so many car accidents.
Yeah.
Stuff happening.
This is a touching story that happened in Mississippi. Maybe you've heard it. Maybe you hadn't. CNN has picked up the story, and Mississippi making big news. And let me pull this up because this is kind of special for the state of Mississippi. The homecoming queen has given away her crown for a grieving family. Their home burned, and I think some other things happened. And while she was out there being crowned, she turns and gives her crown to somebody else. Now, how special is that?
Yes.
So, kudos. We can't. You can't stress being nice enough there.
Right.
So, congrats
And
on
I
that.
think it was her. Was it her mother that had lost her life to cancer too? The girl.
Yeah. So congratulations on that.
Goodness.
That it makes you feel good when somebody does something
I
unexpected.
know. I mean,
with a good
good-hearted,
thing.
just good-hearted things that people do just warm my heart. I mean, I love it.
Yeah,
I hear good things like that.
Not everybody does the right thing from time to time, but they did in that case. Let me see. I was going to switch to some things that happened on this day in history. There were some interesting things happen. If you have never in your life, and I highly suggest this, it probably you'd have to find it on Netflix at this point. But if you have never in your life watched a movie called Sergeant York, I urge you to do that. Now, it's in black and white. It is different. And this is a true story about a man from Tennessee that has trouble deciding if he should fight or not because his religious belief, he reads the Bible and it says, you shall not kill. And he has very hard time deciding whether he should join up. He's been drafted. It's World War I. He's from Tennessee, and, you don't get out as much.
Right.
He goes off and fights. He went to his preacher and he decided this. And this is the story. Alvin York, the actual hero of this, celebrates a birthday today. He became an American hero on this day, actually. It was 1918 when he captured 132 Germans and killed 25 all by his lonesome. And if you watch the movie, he uses his backwoods experience to do that. They're all coming in, and he'll do a turkey gobble, and they'll stick their head up. He takes them out one at a time. And they thought a whole rank had him, and he marches 132 of them in by himself.
Goodness.
Cooper
Smart
played
guy.
played that part, and I'm telling you, if you've never seen a movie, look that up. It is really, that's what I call an American hero.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Protected a lot. The guy, let me put this picture back up. The guy right here is the actual person.
Okay.
This is Cooper, who played the part of World War I.
That's smart that he used a turkey call.
Yeah, and
Get
they will.
them to pop their
They'd
head
hear
up.
it. 25 of them he took down by doing that. Also, who hasn't seen the movies with this guy? Paul Hogan is celebrating a birthday today.
Every time I see him, the only part that I ever really comes to mind is when they're walking on the street and the guy whips out a knife.
Yeah.
He goes, "Give me your wallet," or something. And he goes, "That's not a knife." And he pulls
that big one.
Huge knife. This is a knife. I mean, that is like the main part of that movie that I remember. Goodness.
Joyce Godwin just made a comment there. In Murfreesboro, the VA is named after Alvin York. Get out of here. I did not know that.
That's good.
But again, I hate to get on my soapbox, but y'all really watch that. I'm shocked that they never went back and made a more modern, it'd be hard to beat the original, but a color version of that. It would be very hard. And I think the state of Tennessee, if I remember right, presented him with a home for all he done. They've done a collection and presented him with a home, if I remember right.
Okay.
One of the funniest guys that you ever if you ever watched any of the series Fletch Lives, Chevy Chase. He's funny.
He is funny. I mean, all the National Lampoons movies, that's just, and the Christmas National Lampoons thing it's a yearly have to watch movie.
So if you're thinking out loud, what would you think Americans would say is the best Chevy Chase movie? Would it be the one with Cousin Eddie? The Christmas one?
I think so. Yeah.
I really like that guy.
I mean, I do too. I mean, and
you go back to Caddyshack. Yeah, that was hilarious too.
Yeah.
Not many bad movies that you could think of.
Christmas Vacation. Isn't that what it's called? Christmas Vacation. Yeah.
Now this one, I had to think. I knew her name, and I had to Google her. And I think the first time that I saw her was in Ghostbusters, and I almost forgot that she played the part of the woman that got possessed. But tell me if I'm going to let you say her name because I'll probably pronounce that first name wrong.
Sigourney Weaver.
I don't know anybody else that named their child that.
I know. That's what I was just fixing to say. That's a unusual and. It's unusual. Yeah, I've never heard it other than this.
She was in Alien. She was also in Working Girl with Harrison Ford, if you'll remember that. She played the boss that was mean. Yeah. But she's been in tons of other movies there. But she's celebrating a birthday today, born in 1949 also. Hard to believe she's getting on up there nowadays.
Yes.
One of the greatest songs that's ever been put to anything was recorded on this date. They walked into a studio in 1957. Any guesses who this might be?
Jerry Lee.
Jerry Lee did it. Of course, there's the young and there's the old Jerry Lee.
Yeah.
Great Balls of Fire.
He could play the piano, couldn't he?
Oh, boy. The only person that I have ever seen come close to Jerry Lee on a piano would be a guy named Jason D. Williams. He came to Meridian years and years ago, never made it big on a national scene, but Jason D. Williams could play a piano like nobody I'd ever seen.
I wish I
outside
could
of
play a
that.
piano or some kind of musical instrument. I can't do it.
You can't play any?
I can't. I wish I could. I wish I could play a guitar.
I think you should take piano lessons.
I would rather learn how to play the guitar.
So who was
I'd
it?
love to be able to sing and play the guitar.
Somebody tried to give me a piano this week.
Multitasker. Huh?
Somebody tried to give me a piano.
Really? I know somebody that's trying to get rid of an organ. If y'all know anybody that needs an organ, like that you play, not a bodily organ, but yeah, one of my clients was trying to give one away. She said, I cannot give it away. It's a nice organ.
The same thing with the piano, and the reason being is they take up a lot of room and they are heavy. It takes like 12 folks to load that into a truck.
Yeah, I used to have an antique piano. Half the keys didn't work, but it was beautiful. And somebody had given it to my mother years ago, and then I somehow, took it in, and then I took it everywhere I went. Like if I moved, the piano came with me because it was just a real pretty piece to just sit there. It had like burled wood and inlaid different color wood in it. It was really pretty.
Wow.
And I gave it away. Just gave it to a client of mine,
Just to get it out of your hair?
Yeah, because it was just it was taking up space, and it was so heavy.
They are.
The floor.
Another actor that a lot of people have grown to love, or maybe love is not the word for it, and he's had some Mississippi connections. I've heard rumor that he owns a home somewhere in the state of Mississippi. The guy who played Jason Bourne, Matt Damon, was born in 1970 on this date.
All right.
Into his 50s he goes.
Yes. A little bit older than me.
Just a tad there.
4 years.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong on this, so I'm going to go out on a limb. I think I saw where he was sort of against guns, but every movie character he plays, he uses guns. I sometimes go, don't forget where your bread is buttered, is the moral to that story. We woke up in 1984. I remember this well, and it was a huge, huge hit. She was sort of a crossover, not really country at the time, but this was a smash hit. And who remembers the song "A Little Good News"? It was Album of the Year in 1984 upon this date.
She's still alive, isn't she?
Yes.
Yes. Anne Murray. Yeah.
Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? A lot of people like that also.
Yeah, I like that one. That's the one that I remember most.
Snowbird, I think, was one of her songs there. You'd go back to that other one and call that, deep in the South, they call that belly rubbing music. The clash of belt buckles on a dance floor.
Wasn't there a rose-colored glasses song? Who sung that? It wasn't her. I'm sure.
No. It was John Conley.
Okay. I don't know why that come to my mind.
Hide all the pain.
Rose
Straighten Miss Emily's picture. Old school. Friday Night Blues. Friday Night Blues really hit home for so many people, of especially ladies that didn't work, that were homemakers, and their husband worked all week. He comes on Friday and he's wore out. He's ready to go to bed, and she's wanting to go out and dance. And that's what the song was about. Okay. And that's why it was so huge there.
Okay, yeah. I can hear it in my mind now.
It was Friday Night Blues. What was the song that, and y'all have, I'm trying to think of this one there. My greatest John Conley song that where he drank this month's rent. I skipped work last Friday to drink this much rent. Where his wife, the wife's gone back to mama with the boy by her side. Now I'm wine drunk. Trying to get him off my mind. It'll come to me in a second.
Somebody, I bet Bill knows it.
Golly, why can't I remember that? But John Conley. And the bad part about John Conley and people like that today, they would not be a hit out of Nashville because they're not the sex item that they push, the sexiness. If you're a great singer, you can pretty much hang it up if you hadn't got the look that Nashville is wanting.
Yeah. And like I said this morning, I don't feel like country is country anymore.
Right.
And you agree with that, I know.
Backside of 30 was the name of the song.
Okay.
I'm wine drunk and crazy. Boy, that was good. That opening guitar lick, no matter where you are, you know the song.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait a minute. 1992, and I didn't realize it took this long to hit this. 1992, Americans rushed out to buy some stamps. I think Bill Haley was also issued on that day and maybe some more. But Elvis was the big one that was released on this day. Did you get your stamp?
I did not. I'm sure there's people that have them in still in the little pack.
Yeah.
Hadn't touched them.
So which one of these two do you like better of the stamps? Do you like the young Elvis or the older Elvis?
I like the young Elvis. I wasn't big on that big collared, jeweled up
Jumpsuit?
outfit he wore. I don't know. I didn't like with the cape.
Yeah, he liked to do that.
That he
cape.
bowed and did his.
That wasn't your thing, huh?
I like Elvis though. I just like the younger version better.
Right.
Yeah.
1995, this was the number one song. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
Yes, I remember the song.
Tim McGraw. And that was the kind of the look from 95 there with the black hat and Tim trying to do the 1970 show my hair on my chest look. Just thought you might want it up. You woke up, and this probably, the way things are now, would never happen again because too many people get off scot-free. But they made an example out of this old girl. 2004, they took away everything she had and put some handcuffs on her, and off to jail she went.
I'm sure that was a sight now. Martha was up in jail trying to tell him how to fold the sheets.
She's
seriously.
a little bossy.
She's probably going through the line in the cafeteria. What temperature did you cook that on?
What you don't know about, and unless you do a little research on her, she was a very, very attractive woman when she was younger, and she was a model. I didn't realize that. I just think of her as the cooking expert or the chick off of the home shopping network, whatever that thing is, DYE channel. But she's had a colorful career there.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand the combination of her and Snoop Dogg.
That is odd.
For a show. That's just, it's very odd. But supposedly they're very good friends.
He seems like a likable guy. He just likes to do a lot of drugs and things of that nature there. Everybody's got one of those friends.
Yeah.
They just don't get on TV with you. But I've never watched the show. I've just seen the previews and the little trailers for the show.
I think one day they were talking about potted plants.
And what did he have to say about that?
So, it was a laugh on the show because, obviously he's all for potted plants.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah. Anyway.
Have mercy. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends over at Maple's One Stop Shop. If you haven't visited with them, do so today. It's locally owned. They take care of things right here in the Meridian area. They've got 4 locations for you. You can start there in Broadmoor, and if you'd like your chance at winning something, you've got to buy gas regardless. So why not stop there and shop and have your chance at winning a $50 fuel card drawn weekly? All you got to do is write your name, your number, and they'll let you know if you win. Drop it off to the attendant inside. Pretty simple, easy to do there. As we look at the folks that love this type of coffee, you've got the mocha machine. It's got caramel, vanilla, mocha, and French vanilla.
No, that's the cold coffee.
Yeah, check that out. Only at the Broadmoor location there on top of the hill. Now, you can also get community coffee, and they've got that club going on.
Right.
And get that 6 cup of coffee absolutely free. It's the loyalty coffee program there, and you'll find it in all of their stores there. Always clean, convenient, cold drinks, and a whole lot more. If you need a little Debbie snack or you're looking for lunch, they've got those also. A slice of pizza, Frito-Lay chips, and you can get that fountain drink, all for $4.99.
Right.
Bargain all in itself right there. Crickets and a whole lot more, and lottery tickets. You'll find that at all the locations there. See them either at the Bonita Chevron, Pine Springs, or you can drop into the Last Chance Tobacco on 493 or Broadmoor Chevron. See them all. It's Maple's one-stop shop.
First 10 days following an accident are crucial. Insurance companies don't wait. They have a staff of adjusters, attorneys, and investigators collecting information that can be used against you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we travel along on a Friday morning. It is so hard to believe that this is Friday and the end of the week is here. And so what will you do?
I didn't think it ever comes. I didn't think Friday to ever get here. It's been a long week. I don't know why. It's just going to drag on.
A lot of folks are going to be hitting the woods this weekend with the tractors trying to get everything done. A little damp in certain areas. If you've got some low-lying areas there, remember to carry a winch, a couple chains with you as you head off to the woods because you will be thankful later.
Right. And be careful because snakes are still crawling
Yes.
Kurt killed a copperhead the other day. Our dogs were going crazy in like a high brush area,
Right.
We're circling around and they're barking, and he went out there and they had a snake cornered. Like they had it was right in the middle of it. I'm surprised they can get bit, but
Well, you
be
better
careful, extra careful.
You don't matter especially if you walk a lot in the afternoons or in the early mornings for exercise.
Yeah.
Them critters slip up on you.
Oh yeah, they do.
Especially if you're in these on the rural route, walking around your neighborhood, it'll happen. This is almost like one of those fairy tale type things, to where you say you go to work, you don't make a whole lot of money, and you look around and you go, "Why has everybody else got something and I don't?" And the lady begins to write about her experiences. It becomes a published book. Then it becomes a TV series on Netflix. I mean, how cool is this? And you bump into these people, and I'm sitting here thinking, Carrie Latham, where are you this morning? This could be you. You could have wrote this book, or better known as Bonita in the Meridian area, of you clean houses for a living. And Netflix, this lady wrote, she did it for 6 years, and she wrote a book about cleaning people's houses, to how you're just really overlooked. They don't look you in the eye. They don't speak to you. You're just a hired help.
Right.
She goes on to talk about how she sees families that are dysfunctional, to where the husband stays to himself, the wife stays over here, and they never communicate. And she sees all of this just by her cleaning.
Yeah. I bet you do see a lot when you, have to go to people's homes a good bit. And, you try to stay neutral and out of their life, because that's not your,
right,
line to cross, so to speak. But I don't like when people treat people like servants or something.
Yeah, right.
I can't
get
stand that. That drives me crazy.
Never look down upon somebody. They're earning an honest living.
Right.
And let me tell you something. That is hard work. Whether you're working at a hotel or you do it for people in their homes, it's hard work. It really is. The name of the movie on Netflix is called Made. If you can, check it out. I haven't watched it yet, but everything that I've read here, it really sounds interesting. She was from Montana, and she said she worked for an upper scale neighborhood, not filthy rich, but upper scale. And it just goes through her daily one-on-one dealings with them. So,
and it reminds me so much of that movie that I was telling you about, The Help, kind of. I mean, it's a whole different storyline. I understand that, but like they would see people in this movie, they saw people raise their kids, a lot of times, would help raise their kids and do things. But anyway, so I think we ought to appreciate people like that, though,
absolutely.
Because, that is I wish I had somebody to clean my house.
Well, she went on to say that after she's made it big, she got hurt in her back, and she had to hire somebody for a week to help in her house. And she said she felt guilty about it, that she was getting somebody else to do what she normally does.
Or I'd get in there and clean with them, just as long as I had some help.
Somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
This is, and tell me if I'm thinking of this wrong. Who remembers the coach, the Jaguar coach, that got busted with a video of him inside a bar?
Right.
He's sitting on a bar stool, and this woman backs up to him, and she might be moving around to the music a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe she was doing a little more. We don't know.
Trying to entice him, I'm sure, but
Yeah, I didn't see it myself. I just saw the video.
It's a little thing called self-control. Another thing, the main thing, don't be there in the first place.
And he might have got tempted and reached out and bumped something.
Right.
Well, the wife has spoken out now, and you would think that the wife is supposed to give him immortal, and no, she didn't. She said everybody makes a mistake.
That's bless her heart.
Am I thinking that maybe the wife thinks, well, he done a little something wrong, but hey, this paycheck and my lifestyle is so great that, well, I'm not going to mess that up. Am I reading that wrong?
Probably so, I would imagine.
And
some people are willing to swallow their pride and move on, and for money. I mean, they really are, but I would not be one of those. But it makes you kind of think, since there was a video of it, I mean, what if the girl who was doing that had somebody video and like, look, this is what I'm fixing to do. Look, we fixing to make us some money.
And I guess technically there could have been more to that video that we didn't see, that the wife saw, and then maybe that she forgave him over.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is true. I mean, but this, just like I said, though, I just don't think you should be there in the first place. But
yeah, you can get yourself into a bad situation sometimes.
Yeah. That's not a good setting as a married person to go out in,
That's right. So that's a big news story that is breaking today that's going on there. A Texas deputy, I don't know if you've seen this yet, as we had the child that was lost here, found a 2-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 7-year-old that had been lost for more than 24 hours in a park. And he finds them and he bumps into them. And this is it's cute, and they want cheeseburgers is what they're wanting. He promises he's going to take them to go get a cheeseburger as he stumbles upon that and finds them in the forest there. So a good ending to a bad situation there.
So many kids walking off. I mean, what is lately?
It
Kids
happened.
getting lost everywhere. I mean, it's just like crazy.
We had it happen in Union,
right,
too.
Right.
But that's one of the headlines across America today. Let's see here.
Goodness.
I'm going through all these. That one is not as interesting with what's going on here. A federal judge, and again, I've said this too many times, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but a federal judge has temporarily blocked the Texas 6-week abortion ban. And I think we saw this coming, that they don't want this to happen, and there's judges that will do this. It has not been determined if the abortion clinics can resume while this goes on, or if everything's at a halt, but it's been blocked. Does this make the judge with blood on their hands is the question. Scotty Ray World says, yes, you may not agree with me at all with what I just said, but I think that judge one day will be held accountable and have to stand before the Almighty and answer why they done that, and for each death be held accountable. My thoughts.
Yeah.
That's just me.
So supposedly they're upholding a woman being able to have a choice about her health and her body and what she wants to do. But
that's the way they
vaccine, you got so much of a choice anymore, do you?
There's
not much.
More and more controversy coming with that as the Biden and them push this of firing people for not taking it. It's a mess.
Yeah.
America, if you look at the polls, do not agree with the way the person holding the presidency is handling the situation. As a matter of fact, I saw yesterday his poll numbers are down to 38% now. He's not allowed in the White House anymore. He's got a fake. I could not get
fake propped
White House.
Yeah.
That tells you who's in charge. And if you can't give a speech as president of the United States and do it without a teleprompter, there was a problem.
Yeah.
Apparently he can't do it, and that's why they're using the room.
Did you see the people following the lady into the bathroom?
Yes.
And and his response to that was, well, that's just how it is. Sometimes.
That's not how it is.
And unless you have Secret Service surrounding you, I mean, that's just,
Right.
In other words, suck it up and go on. I mean, it's okay for somebody to follow you into the bathroom while you go into the stall and harass you.
What the interesting story about what you're talking about is almost as if they're eating their own. They're both Democrats, and it's just this one is further left than this one.
Yeah.
They're both kind. Boy, I tell you what, that those are some of the headlines. Oh, and here's a runt road that should never happen to you, especially. Okay, let me call out, if you carry a radio in any type work that you do, whether you could be, you work at a company and you have to
like a walkie-talkie.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe you work for a fire department, or maybe you work for the sheriff's department.
Right.
Los Angeles, California, I guess it just got the best of him. He couldn't handle it. And it was love while on duty. And let's just say somebody sat on the microphone and keyed up the mic.
Goodness.
Los Angeles County deputy now no longer has a job after, whoopee on the job.
Bad decision.
It did not turn out so well for him.
Right. Crazy.
No word yet on how long the transmission lasted.
Every time walkie-talkies, I don't know if you realized it, but like when we were little, we would like lay in the ditch with our walkie-talkie.
I missed this.
And cars would go by
Yeah.
and they'd have their radio on, of course, and we would say something. We'd go, "Hey, you," or something, and they'd put on the brakes because somehow or another the frequency went into their radio.
Oh, that's cute.
So, yeah, we would lay in the ditch and do that.
Little Candace, always up to something.
We had fun when we were little.
Nothing wrong with having good games. As we turn to Chet's Paint and Body, the best that you'll find in the Meridian area, right here in the Center Hill area there. If you need something done to your car, talk to them first. And the big thing is look at work that somebody's done. Make sure you get quality work. And this is it. It bar none. It doesn't matter where you go. Any car that's been done by Chet's Paint and Body is going to look the best. No flaws. There's nothing in your paint. It looks just like it did when it come from the factory there. Again, see them there in Center Hill. And there's so many to choose from as you take a look here at some cars that have gone through that they're preparing to take care of. Doors, and a common thing that just didn't where it gets slammed into the fender. You can back up and not be paying attention and catch a post in your garage. I can't tell you how many times that's happened. That'll tear something up. Mustang that's been damaged there with the front end. And we've also got the beds that can be repaired there. If you've got aluminum bed, those are hard to do, but not for Chet's Paint and Body. They'll put it back right. The front end damage is the continued damage as you bump into things or get backed into GMC trucks. They've got them from classics, the paint booth there, that'll make absolutely sure that there's no flaws in your paint. That's where they operate there. Chet's Paint and Body. You'll find them again. Highway 495, 737-2961. They'll take care of that insurance work for you because contact them, tell them everything that's happened, and fix you up with a rental car.
That's right. You can depend on them for sure.
That's Chet's Paint and Body. See them today.
I'm Richard Schwartz. If you've been in an auto accident, don't hesitate to call for legal help. Remember, the first 10 days following an accident are crucial. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we travel along. Coming up at the top of the hour, we've got roughly 5 minutes before they jank it away from us and they take us off your television.
Yeah. Did you hear, before we do the next story, did you hear about the Whoopi Goldberg and Shark Tank lady?
What was the joke? I didn't hear it.
Okay, Whoopi Goldberg was talking, they were talking about blue jeans, and she was saying, oh, I wonder if those jeans will fit this COVID. And she was saying, but I think, that's what she said. And she said, oh, would it fit two COVID, behinds in them?
Right.
And so anyway, the lady says, well, when you get done with them, I'm going to cut them in half and because she's real skinny. When you get done with them, I'm going to cut them in half and make two pair. For me, it's what I think she was insinuating. So they made fun of themselves. She and another one of the ladies on The View made fun of themselves by saying they were big. But when she made fun of herself by saying, using their joke and saying she was skinny, which it kind of was critical,
But was it funny?
It was funny, I thought. But, they didn't like it at all. I mean, you could see Whoopi Goldberg's face go, really? Did you just say that? But, yeah. And then I saw where Barbara Corcoran is her name. She's the lady, the blonde, real short-haired lady on the Shark Tank. She went back and made a video and apologized. She said that she and Whoopi were good friends and that she, meant good, she didn't mean any harm by it. But
Whoopi got
she realized they didn't think it was funny. So
Whoopi got bent out of shape over it, so to speak.
Right.
I'm not a big Whoopi fan. I'm not going to hide that. And I absolutely cannot watch The View.
Yeah.
That's one of those that...
I don't like The View either. It's just too...
It gets me riled up when they talk about... Well, it does.
It would be different. It was a little... If it was a little more neutral or, I don't know. But it's not. It's just completely, one-sided.
Yonder way.
Right. Yeah. So.
Oh, Saturday Night Live. When's the last time you stayed up? And that's past my bedtime.
Oh, wow. I have not watched it.
Is it because of the time frame or is it just you don't like it?
I mean, it just has changed a whole lot. It's not as funny as it used to be, but
well, the rest of them
depends on who it,
But the rest of America is agreeing with you as ratings plummet.
Yeah.
It's the worst that they've ever had. And most people are saying it's because they won't touch Joe.
Right.
They will not do any funnies like they did about Trump or other presidents.
And I don't know why. I mean,
this guy gives daily material to everybody.
Yeah. Daily.
Now, I make mistakes too, and I'm sure I could be made fun of too, but you have to laugh it off. It would most likely be pretty good to be recognized on a national TV show. Trump didn't think so. He didn't,
Yeah.
He's not one of those that could be handled to be poked fun at.
Right.
I think everybody knows that.
But yeah, I used to watch it a lot. I loved it back in the day when it was Dan Aykroyd and, all
three wild and crazy
Steve
guys.
Martin.
Eddie Murphy.
Who was the lady? Gilda Radner. Rosanna Dana.
And it's funny how you can remember back on all of that and do some of the funny stuff that they done. And nowadays,
yeah.
couldn't tell you one single funny thing that happened on that.
Who was the big guy who passed away. He was on there.
Belushi?
No, the other one that.
Oh, the one that was in Tommy Boy?
Yeah, he was on there, it was pretty fun. He was a funny guy. I mean, he was, but anyway. But that's when it kind of stopped being funny to me, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Back in the day. We can't say thank you enough for dropping by. We've come to the end of our time. There's a lot of great things going on in the community. Don't forget Bailey Volunteer Fire Department, Scary House, and also Cicalina selling plates this weekend.
Right.
And a lot of things going on with churches.
And Guys and Dolls. Don't forget that at the Meridian Little Theater. Yeah.
We'll see you bright and early Monday morning. Don't miss us, beginning at 8 a.m. again, same time, same place.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by